welcome back to another video. Today I will continue the video series I began last week documenting my journey to becoming a pilot. Last I spoke, I left off with me realizing that I had this strong passion to become a pilot and having no way to realize this dream. In Guyana, as I've stated in the first video, which I will link in the description below, at the time it was a communist country, which meant food staples were very limited. And the way we went about making food, at least at the time while I was there as a kid, was to cook on something called a coal pot. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's just a big cast iron, steel, whatever you can find to make it out of, and you put coal in it and you put your pot on it and you cook that way. It's in this environment that my father did something what I now really appreciate, and I also come to understand how remarkable, incredible, and brave he was for doing what he did. In addition to the previously mentioned difficulties of living in a communist country, one of the things that's associated with that type of leadership is a lack of effective, high-paying jobs. While my father did have a decent paying job in Guyana, it wasn't sufficient to support us properly. He did the brave thing and put his family before himself. He migrated to Trinidad, where he was able to find proper employment, high paying employment, and a much stable position. While he was there, he would send money and toys, clothes, whatever we need to ensure we had a comfortable life in Guyana. My mother would travel to Trinidad from time to time, probably about once or twice every month, to see my dad. She would then buy clothes, shoes, and other consumer accessories, bring them back to Trinidad, and we would sell them at a local market. This is my first introduction to sales. I think I was maybe 10 or 12 years old. I was selling these shoes and I had them spread out on this canvas under a big oak tree. I was there for all day and I'm not selling anything. I don't know where this idea came from, but I decided to make a sign that said sale on it. I made two of those signs actually, and I placed them among the shoes. I did not change the prices, and the shoes began to sell. I'm like, great. I soon realized that I couldn't have a sale every day because people would catch on that I'm not really changing the prices. What I did, I believe I had a sale once a week. It's in this atmosphere that I, not realizing the challenges I'm sure to face, chose to be a pilot. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't want to say chose as much as piloting chose me, because it is very uncommon for someone at 10 or 12 years old to know precisely what is it they want to do and then dedicate the rest of their life to accomplishing that dream. That was me. Thus, I wonder at times whether I choose piloting or whether piloting chose me or whether it was just a natural fit. Now, this moment here, I especially would like to take some time to thank my father for the brave thing he did. Everything I am today, everything I have accomplished, everything I will accomplish, I owe to my father. Had he not made that sacrifice, that unselfish choice to migrate to Trinidad to put his family first, I would not be here today. I would not be a successful pilot. I would not have a master's degree. I would not have a bachelor's degree. And I most certainly wouldn't be flying a plane that's worth millions of dollars. To my father, if you ever see this video, thank you. I am forever grateful for what you have done and the difficult choices you had to make. Let me assure you, your sacrifices, at least on my part, has not gone unnoticed. I am extremely grateful to you. My father, after being away for 3 to 4 years, he was able to send for us in groups. By the time it was my turn to join the rest of the family in Trinidad, I was 15 years old. This was 1989. I went to the airport in Guyana and I was probably 11, 12, maybe, no, I was 15, as I previously said. And for the first time, I saw an airplane. And I remembered standing up against the glass on the terminal, pressed my face against it, and just stood in awe, looking at this big thing. I thought it was big, it was awesome. And it was my first time seeing one. So for me, it was sort of a feeling of that surreal moment. You know, you're seeing something that you want to do for the first time. You're a kid, but you don't really understand what is it you see it. And I certainly didn't understand the significance of the moment. I didn't realize that this simple move that my father was able to do for me and my siblings was the catalyst to change my life, was the thing that will set me on the path to becoming the thing that I wanted to become since I was a kid, which was to be a pilot. We arrived in Trinidad and my parents actually immediately enrolled me in Belmont Boys Secondary School. This, as the name stated, it is an all-boys Catholic school. It was really cool. We had these blue shirts and khaki pants. But again, even when changing schools, having access to better resources, having access to more consumer goods, my performance as a student was still lacking. And that wasn't because I wasn't trying, like I was trying my darndest. And I would get so frustrated. Like, why isn't this working? Why am I taking so long to learn it when everyone else is getting it? All of my friends, they just pick it up really quick. But I'm struggling. It was there that I met a teacher. She said to me, if I wanted to be a pilot, I needed to know math really well. And I'm not strong at math. I am terrible at math, so I was really frustrated. Um, but I eventually managed to claw my way through secondary school, completing what's called the Caribbean Examination Council final exam. I believe I took about 3 or 5 subjects at the end of my 5 years in high school there. And I did okay, but I didn't do so great either. You know, it was still kind of a struggle. So from there, I began to work fixing cars because no, not actually before that, I was working at a restaurant where I was the assistant cook, I was the waiter, and I was the cleaner. Now, while I'm doing all this stuff, all I'm thinking about is how will I become a pilot? How can I move from Trinidad to where I can get in a position to become a pilot? It's important to note that in the Caribbean, as a black person, it's extremely hard to become a pilot simply because of the racial divide between Indians and blacks. Usually Indians get the better opportunities, which meant most of the pilots that worked for the national airline at the time, which was called BWI, British West Indies Airways, they were mostly Indians. They weren't black pilots. You didn't see black pilots in the Caribbean those days. I will leave it there for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you have any comments or questions on anything I've said, link it in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until next time, be good.